With just a press, you'll switch that mic on. So, ladies and gentlemen, I know some of you have gone to partake and have some of these wonderful goodies that we have, but at this juncture, I'll ask all of us to keep our ears open so that we allow the wonderful team to take us through this session. Thank you very much. The ATS team, make sure all the mics are working and ready. The sound team, make sure we are set so that we get started. Thank you very much. Yep.
Happy Mother's Day, ladies and gentlemen.
Happy Mother's Day.
Welcome to this amazing Mom's Brunch. We want to thank you all for coming. We want to thank you for being a part of this wonderful, wonderful experience. All right? We have our amazing panelists, and I want to tell you that we are going to have a lot of wisdom shared this afternoon as we celebrate the mothers. Samson, Lucky, Charity, and Prudence, you are welcome to this amazing Mom's Brunch. And I want to begin with you, Prudence. All right? I'm going to ask you to introduce yourself to our audience and tell us who you are, what you do, and a message that you have for everybody that is watching you or listening to you right now.
Thank you, Patricia. Good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon, mothers.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, future mothers. Or they didn't come. Or fathers. All right. Prudence Sobola, and I'm a public health professional. I'm also a medical person. I work with CCare Uganda. But in my good time, I'm also a Rotaractor. I do volunteer with Rotary International, and I like impacting communities. And also I'm a mother, most importantly, to a beautiful 3-year-old.
Wow.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Over to you, our darling coach, Charity.
Good afternoon, everybody. Happy Mother's Day to all the mothers out there. My name is Charity Mbabazi Biarugaba. I was telling Lucky earlier that these guys skipped my name Mbabazi, so I'm also Mbabazi. Yeah. I am a marketing professional with over 20 years experience in building personal and corporate brands. But most importantly, today we are here to talk about motherhood. I've been a mother for the last 22 years. I have 4 lovely children, 2 boys and 2 girls. 3 of them are now adults, the youngest being 11. I'm an author of 2 books. One of my books is The Scent of a Mother, and I hope I can pass a bit of scent to those of you who are mothers here. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Charity. And over to you, Lucky Mbabazi.
Hi, everyone.
Hi.
So my name is Lucky Mbabazi. Can I just carry this mic because
Yes,
it's not giving what it's supposed to?
that's some.
Oh, thank God. So my name is Lucky Mbabazi Rahman. I'm a Muslim. I am a media personality, a fitness and wellness advocate. That one deserves bigger applause. And mental wellness. I am also a content creator. That's a thing in 2026. If you're a content creator, then you're a content creator. I am also a mother of 4. Also the founder of Lucky's Groove Back. It is a fitness program. I am sure I have a few people who have been to one. I am a mother of 4, my first being 21, at the university. So that one also deserves a round of applause. My second, let me go through the years so that you people know I'm a serious mother here. So my second daughter, Nadia, 17. My other daughter, Naila, she's 14. And the last one is 10 going on 50, because that's how he acts. He's Amir. I am a proud mother. I've enjoyed my 21 years, and I can't wait to share through my experiences what I can pass on to you, and hopefully you can use it. The mothers, and I hear upcoming mothers. Hey, nature.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Lucky. It's interesting to know that we have, all these mothers here and they're very willing to share each of us. And the only gentleman on the panel, the one and only Samson.
Clearly, I am not a mother. My name is Samson Kasumba, and I am a son of a very passionate mother whose full-time job was raising us. And I made sure that that job was harder than it should have been. Tell you, raising me was not easy. You just have to see my tweets to understand what a challenge it was to raise me. My mother, because there's no school of being mother, my mother tried everything until she gave up. Handed me to the Lord, and I think at some point even God gave up.
God never gave up.
I used to enjoy. My mother was a beater. I used to enjoy seeing her beat until she gave up in frustration. So that's the kind of son I was. And I remember vividly asking God not to give me sons, lest one is half what I was. And so when I had my first daughter, I told my wife it is enough. I don't know why she insisted, but somehow I have 3 daughters, a vasectomy, and no apologies. So I am proudly without sons. Proudly without sons. And I'm happy that I will get some sons-in-law. And the beauty with that is, if it doesn't work, you return to sender. Wow. That's how it operates. I work for the media, I'm a news anchor. I am also a very strong opinion in the public space. But those who know me very well say that I am a very, very good human being. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. May we please clap for our panelists for sharing that and for the level of vulnerability that they are expressing. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Patricia Agarichire Mulumba, also known as the Lover of Love, and this afternoon I am the moderator for this amazing session on Moms Gather. Looking at all the mothers here, I see a wealth of beauty, I see a wealth of strength, I see resilience. I wish Samson's mother were here to see what the Lord has done for her son. I appreciate these mothers, 22 years, 21 years, 3 years, and I'm no exception. I'm also a mother of 4. I have 2 amazing sons and 2 amazing daughters, and hopefully maybe a set of twins will come, God knows when. I've had this journey for 22 years now, and the unique thing is, for my sake, I started parenting at the age of 13. So when I talk about a mother, I witnessed a mother pass away out of excitement because of the results I had gotten in PLE. That excitement gave her a stroke that killed her, and there my journey began. So I understand what a mother is. And this afternoon, that's exactly what you're going to have. I want to start by asking a very simple, interesting question. Each of these panelists is going to tell us one piece of advice that their mothers gave them. Just one piece of advice. And I want to start with you, Samson.
That's a very emotional one. I think on one of the the occasions, after my mother had disciplined me from routinely coming back home late, she tried an electric cable, it didn't work.
Oh my God.
She tried everything and it didn't work.
Oh my God.
And there's an occasion where, out of frustration, I think the only thing she could grab around was, I don't know whether I should say this, but you can understand I was a very difficult kid. She wanted to beat me and there was nothing, so she picked a panga and she was using the flat side to whip my backside. And I held my back at it and it cut me. And she said, it's all because of you. So she tied around my cut and then cut a cane and beat me up. And then we went to the clinic and I had, I think, about 3-4 stitches. And I remember seeing her tears and she said, don't ever do this to somebody else. And she was crying. The thing I can tell mothers here is, even when he is that bad, don't give up. Because look at where I am. Don't give up on a child. Just don't give up. Many people who see me on television don't know that one of the biggest successes of my life is I failed senior 6 with success. I mean, I successfully flunked senior 6. But I think in about 2 weeks, my admission for my PhD will be in. So don't you ever give up on your son or on your daughter. If you can't, call me to speak to them. I'll share my experience. Maybe that will help.
Wow. Don't you ever give up on your son or your daughter, regardless of what they are doing, regardless of how long they are taking to learn the things you're telling them or teaching them. And Samson, I want to comfort you by saying that God did not give up on you. When you're introducing yourself, you told us mom gave up and God at some point maybe gave up. But I know that this success we are seeing today, the kind of power and influence you have, the lives you're changing through the work you're doing, all that is God. And we really, really want to clap you. So let's clap Samson. Yeah.
Briefly, I think I should also have said that I've studied a Bachelor of Biblical Theology and a Master's of Biblical Theology, and I think next week or beyond that, I'll be doing my Doctor of Philosophy in Biblical Theology. So I also have a very strong, I think that's what I share with Lucky, I have a very strong connection with my God. It's extremely strong.
Amazing, amazing. And right there, Samson, you are nailing it. I have no doubt your daughters are some of the luckiest daughters that we have. And now I want to move over to you, Lucky. Lucky, I've seen you, I've watched you, I've listened to you. I've seen the work you're doing in your parenting, in the mentorships. Um, I have a sister that taught your son, and she only says good things about you. And there's so much out there. I want you to tell us, what's that thing you remember from your mother, or that lesson that she gave you, or that piece of advice? And how are you taking it on, using it, or how can we also be able to borrow that from you?
Thank you so much. My mom, Akiki, I love her so much. That woman is amazing. Was not so much of a talker. She, it's the way she carried herself. My mom, I believe, is one of the kindest human beings I've ever seen. And I'm not saying this because she's my mom. I am saying this because I see it, I hear it, and that sometimes has opened doors for me beyond. You know how you walk into somebody's office and they're like, "You're so and so's daughter. Oh, we used to come. She used to cook for us. What an amazing woman. Oh, she did this and this and that." And I was glad that she married a man who was pretty much the same. So they kind of complemented each other. And watching her be kind taught me that no matter what people do to you, still choose kindness. And I think for me, that is the most important lesson you could ever pass on to your child, because that will prevent them from doing certain things because they come from a place of kindness. Yeah, that's pretty much the lesson. Be kind always. Yeah.
Thank you very much, Lucky. Be kind. Be kind. I think that's one of the best lessons that we can take away from Lucky's mother, Akiki. Over to you, Mbabazi. She was saying, why am I not being called today? Call me Mbabazi. So I'm calling you Mbabazi for this session. Yes.
So when you call me Mbabazi, you give me an opportunity to talk about my mom. One of the reasons I wrote the book, The Scent of a Mother, was to pass on the many lessons that my mom had taught me. At the time I wrote the book, I had been a mother for 18 years. But everything I was writing, I felt like I was just writing her life and sharing her with the world. For today, you've asked us for one lesson, and I will talk about generosity. I have watched Mrs. Margaret Ndabamanya Tabaruka be generous to everybody that comes to her. Generosity to the point that you give away everything. I remember as a child, one of the days would be going home and people would stop her because they knew she was generous. They would stop our car and tell her, "Mommy," everybody calls her Mommy. So, "Mommy, tetulina kyakulya." And she would open her bag and give away the last money in her bag. And as a child, I would just watch and say, "Wow, you're special." And then the next morning, I would watch mom ask dad, "Do you have some money to give me? Because I don't know how I'll start tomorrow." And so for me, watching her give away everything, wisdom, knowledge, money, land, everything. Anything that is in her power to give away, she gives it away. So she has taught me that you do not have to be stingy in life. Share. Yeah, it could be just that dress that you have at home. You haven't put it on for a very long time. Share. Be generous. Thank you.
Amazing. Amazing.
The rest are in the book.
Mama Margaret, we really honor you for the thousands of lessons and the generosity that Babazi is sharing today. Over to you, Dr. Prudence.
Uh, well, there are a number of lessons we pick from our parents. One main lesson I picked from my mom was no matter what, always look up to God. And I think just like Lucky there, these are the things we witness. My mom, I call her my prayer warrior. This lady will pray for everybody. And at our altar, we pray even for the president of Uganda. I do not know. And this has sustained me, and it's something I've personally carried through my journey of motherhood, and it has kept me going, even when at one point I felt like I almost giving up. Uh, Someone would ask at 3 years, you have a 3-year-old, at what point were you giving up? But yes, it was a little bit hard at the start. And that kept me going because the prayer, the belief, and even when life was a little bit hard, everybody would ask me, Prudence, how do you go through life with so much confidence, with so much strength? it's like what is happening around you is not affecting you. And sometimes I also look back and I'm like, I just do not know how. I just believed in God, and here we are. So be grounded in God. Doesn't matter the situation, pray. You're happy, pray. You're sad, pray. Worship. Any point, any day, life will be so easy. So to me, that lesson, God.
Always look up to God, the power of generosity. If you're to choose anything, choose kindness and never, ever give up. I think was one in the last seconds as she was leaving this world. She told me to spread so much love. She told me to unite my siblings and unite people. And then, as the words were shutting down, she said, "Be a mother of the nation, my girl." I was just 13. But that sunk deep, and today it's why I do the work I do. I do the counseling and life coaching and spread sunshine, and that's why I'm the lover of love. But that moment of her death, I picked a lesson. In everything we do as parents, as mothers, we need to know that none of us has the power to determine when you exit. So as long as you have your children, as long as you are alive, you have to really, really take that moment in. Anytime, what is that piece of advice that your mother gave you? What is that piece of advice you would give to the world as a mother? And in this moment, I know that today the trends, the current generation, the mothering and parenting is a bit different from what it used to be. Take, for example, Samson. You say, Mom would cane and even get a cable and do that, which may not be happening today. So, what would you say about the changing trends of parenting and bringing up children as parents or as mothers? And how can we be able to get the best versions out of our children regardless of the changing times?
Thank you. I appreciate that things have changed, and that's a fact. But I'm not so sure we are putting food in the nose. Still goes through the mouth.
Exactly.
And it is still the ears that are hearing. I hope I'm not speaking very philosophically. I I saw a mom with a child in a bar, and they were putting a straw into alcohol and putting it to a child's mouth, and she and her friends were laughing about it. Things have changed, haven't they?
Yes, they have.
I know of a mother that was ordering KFC as the first meal for their children because they could afford.
Things have changed.
Things have changed. We all know the mother of Jesus Christ, who was actually a surrogate mother of Jesus Christ. I'm very sure, I've studied a bit of comparative religion. I'm very sure even the mother of Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, is known. These were not rich women. But why are they known? They invested everything in their kids. If your children go south, they will still say, so-and-so's kids. You will be judged by the quality of children you raised or you did not raise. There's nothing that raises children other than that four-letter word, time. What's the investment of your time? How do you not have time to go visit your children in school? What is most important? I am sorry, but I don't believe in boarding school for primary kids. My father refused. He said, these are the most important years of a child. If I can't have my time with my children, how will a matron who has 60 kids have time for all of them, regardless of how much money on the side you give to that matron? You are 60 of you asking for her time. A day is 24 hours. How is she going to spread time around 60 kids, even if all of you give her $1 million each? She just doesn't have the time. So I think, unfortunately, we've given everything else time other than our kids. Last weekend, I took time off to take my daughter to school. Thank God she knew what she wanted. She said, S5 and S6, please, I am not in the plan. So what do you want to do? I tried to get her to be a carpenter, funny as it might be. But until you know how much Wang Su makes a month, you realize why it can be very lucrative. And modern carpenting is not about sewing. It's designing, and those who have the time go to China, get the machines, they'll do the cutting, and then you distribute, and then I will come to you, Mbabazi, with my bill of 85 million to do your wardrobes and stuff. But then she decided she wanted to be a chef. And I took time off work. I told people at work, my daughter is going to school, and I have to be there. So we went, the whole family settled her in, and she started. Of course, I could excuse myself from that assignment and send either what we normally call we men, her mother, to go, and then me, I look after the other things. So I think and see priorities have changed from our children to other things. And let me talk to the men here. The bar, the football game have taken more time than our children. And that's grossly unfortunate. And we will pay a price for it.
That's true.
Those of us who live on social media, you can tell children who were never raised.
That's true.
I have to once I put a comment, I can tell a child that never grew up with their father by their response. There is nobody who grew up with their mother that loved them that will be abusive in public.
That's true.
You can't grow up with a mother and father that loved you and you are openly abusive in public. That's a demonstration of deficiency of love, absence of time. Lucky can be insulted on social media. Have you ever seen her insult anybody? The values instilled from the very beginning will tell her, we don't behave that way.
Wow. I think Samson deserves a louder round of applause. Samson, as you're speaking, has drawn to the book of Proverbs, where it stated clearly that a child that behaves well or disciplined will honor the father, and the one that does the opposite dishonors the mother. It's quite interesting. But it's the truth. Exactly what you said. I want to hear what Lucky has to say about these changing times and what and what. Yes, Lucky.
Ooh. Changing times, huh? So here's the thing. You have to evolve as parents.
That's true.
Period. You can no longer, unfortunately, use your parents' books. You can borrow, mix it up, but it's not enough. Because the child you're raising now is different from the child that was raised then. And there are advantages and disadvantages. It doesn't mean that our children are doomed just because they're raised in the era of digital, because it has its advantages, like I said. The only issue that I have with some parents that I speak to is that they seem to think that since social media is here now, yeah, they leave social media to raise their children. The last thing you need is that. Because you're going to see Lucky twerking, but she's going to go home and tell my kids, you're not going to twerk on social media. You understand? I'm 18 and above. I'm grown. I can do whatever I want. You can't. I've earned it, and I can control it. And even if there are men out there who might see me some type of way, I really don't care because I'm too grown for that. You're not. So sitting down and having candid conversations from a place of honesty does help. Your kids, they hear, they see, and they copy. So as you are in this era of social media, it is an era of complete communication. You will lose them. You will watch what they are watching. Don't come from a place of don't touch that, don't do that, don't do that. That worked with us, it's not going to work for them. It's not going to work. Because guess what? They know their voice. We did not have that. If my mom, Akiki, said, don't do that, period. I tell my kids, don't do that. Mom, could you explain why? What's the issue? If I did this, what happens? But wait. Last time this person did it, do you know how many billions they have now? Now you have a conversation. And then now you have to explain they did it, but A, B, C, D, there's something you don't know about them, this is what happened. So generally, they have a voice and they want to be heard. You shut down that voice, in the future, somebody's going to shut them up. Again, they're evolve as a parent. Understand Generation Z.
Exactly.
Just because you're millennial or X does not mean that you cannot understand them. The language, you need it. That's where the hidden communication is. And if you don't understand the language, you will miss out. So take interest. I know it sounds like, why would I be learning Gen Z? You clock it and learn. Okay, I just wanted to use that because it's a Gen Z thing. But what I'm trying to say is that you have to learn the languages they're using, because when you look at their social media on WhatsApp, these kids can communicate things and you will be shocked. And if you can't crack the code, toja bitegera. Kumbe they are planning to meet up and do things. And mind you, you're raising them really well. But unfortunately, you do not know how much time the other parents are putting into their children. And children don't just learn from home. They learn through community, influence. You raise a good child, yeah, you instill values in them, but once they go to school, they meet different people. When they are playing, they meet different people. And they'll even come to you, for me, they come. They're like, but mom, we never go for sleepovers. But mommy, whatever does, I was like, that's mommy.
Whatever.
My children don't do sleepovers. Now they stopped asking. Hey, they stopped asking. I was like, no sleepovers. But, I allow parents to bring their children. You know why? Because I have time. If I'm not at work, I'm home. I have time to watch you. I'll tell you, bring your child after 11. Nzembera detective. They've had enough of me. But I run a strict program. I do activities with them so that they don't feel detached. We dance, we talk, we play games, I kick balls. I do everything just so I cannot lose that connection, because parenting has evolved.
Parents, you've had it. Evolve with your children. We can no longer parent our children the way we were parented. Unfortunately, today we have a set of children who are the ones that are parenting their parents. That's the irony. Parents today are being parented by their children. And lucky, maybe I can share. Recently, I was scrolling and then I landed on a video where you're talking to your son with so much ease. And I think it was a conversation about him having a girlfriend, or would he bring the girlfriend, or something like that. It was such a beautiful conversation. And I want to encourage parents. Today, if you look at children between 5 and 10, you'll be amazed at the things they know, the things they say. You can actually have a serious conversation with your 5-year-old child, and you'll be shocked. You were mentioning that our parents would say, no, don't do that, and you don't question. The people here and you who are seated there will agree that for us in our times, even your parent, your mother didn't have to say anything. She just had to give you a look. She looks at you in a certain way. Newe Teresa. Today, give your child that look, and you'll have a set of questions. Well, mommy, why are you looking at me like that? What does it? Why? What is it? But in our days, just one look, you organize yourself. That shows you how things have actually changed. So we need to evolve with the changing times, understand the language of our children, understand why they do what they do, listen, but don't judge. And that way you'll be able to get them to listen to you. Over to you, Mbabazi, Charity. Yes, please.
Mbabazi, the mother of Mbabazi.
The mother of Mbabazi.
Yeah, so thank you, Samson. Thank you, Lucky. You have spoken my heart.
Yes.
But two words came to me regarding the question that you just asked. The first word was stewardship. As mothers, we are stewards. We are responsible for children that have been given to us by God with a destiny ahead of them. And it is up to us to actually ask God the destiny of our children. What do you see in this child when they are still a baby, all the way? I've told you I've been a mother for the last 22 years. So our firstborn is 21, the secondborn is 20, 17, and 11. So stewardship. Always remember that I'm a steward. So as the times are changing, as the digital era is coming in, how are you taking care of this child, because you are a steward? The other word that came to me was love. Love, you know, we read, there's a book called The 5 Love Languages. And many times we think about the 5 love languages in the space of marriage, in the space of couples. But how about your child? They also speak a certain love language. Do you understand the 5 love languages? Yeah. And once you understand them, speak a different language to each child, because each child is different. When Samson was talking about priorities, priorities, what are we giving our time? So 2 words, you are a steward. Second thing, learn about their love language and speak a different language to every child. Thank you.
Wow. Please clap for Charity Mbawazi. As you were speaking, something came to mind. The issue of the love languages, it's amazing. It's so powerful. And understanding that if you have 4 children, they may not necessarily speak the same language. So you can't parent child A the same way you parent child B and child C. You have to understand what love language works for them. You have to understand the kind of temperaments they have, because a child with a certain temperament might not be treated the same way as the other child. That was so powerful. Thank you so much, Charity Mbawazi. And over to you, the mother of Mbabazi. As we were going through this Mbabazi thing, I also felt I should share. My best friend is called Mbabazi. So there is a Mbabazi thing here that is happening. And you know, Mbabazi means grace. peace. So it's amazing. Mothers are full of grace. They are full of grace. I think we should get Mbabazi something for Samson. Yes, over to you.
I know a Mama Mbabas.
Amazing. Yes, over to you, Doctor.
Yes, in this dynamics of digital era, and I understand that some of us now are giving birth to the little ones in this same era. One thing I can say is, first of all, the mirror effect. Because for us, where we are currently is my child sees what I do, and they reflect exactly what I do. So that means that they are watching, they are seeing, and what they consider as normal is what they are also going to do. So at this stage, I'm a little bit very careful. Even at home and in the things that we do, we are very careful because I know exactly. I'll tell you, we have this habit of hugging and kisses in the family. And of course, you come back home and you're welcoming back. Hey, you know, it's hugs and kisses. And my daughter knows the way we show affection is hugs and the kisses. Until at one point, just a few weeks ago, she went and she ran, just hung out, kids. And she was hugging and kissing other kids. That's when I was like, wait a minute. So this that we do is exactly what she's taking. Now, little did I know that she would go and do it to other people. And of course, a little bit, the other parent was offended because maybe it's not a thing of theirs. And that taught me something. Now we have to go back to ground and tell her, hey, look, this is okay, but maybe it's for a limited set of people. It's not for everybody. And now that gets me to communication. There is communication because most people feel, oh, you don't have to communicate to kids, especially the little ones. You know, you're 3 years, what are you even telling them? Decision making, what are you even telling them? Communication for children should start as soon as they are conceived because we get to speak to them. We speak to this child, and you'll be shocked by how much when they come out, they relate. Even at things as simple as music, the surrounding that you be in when you're carrying that baby is very, very important because it speaks to them and it shapes them even when they are still inside. And I'm happy that I've given birth maybe in the last 2 years, and I can see these things. There is music I played for my child, and that kind of music took us through NICU. I gave birth to her. She came really very early. And I already said this girl is very independent in her decision making because she chose when she decided, she chose to come at, a little bit earlier than all the other kids. And when we were going through NICU, and of course she was on oxygen and support and all those things, I would give her this music and it would calm her down. It not only calm her down, it would calm me down. It communicated to her. And as we've been growing, there are things that I tell her. I reassure her every day in the morning. I'm telling her, you are strong, because she's quite sickly. And I'm telling her, you are strong, you are beautiful, you are kind. Her other name is Kindness. And all those things, because it goes all the way in terms of communication. Because this era is a very interesting era. It has its goods and its bads. But if a child is not grounded to know who they are way from home, then they will not know how to face the future. They will not know how to face the world outside there. So I keep reminding my daughter every morning. When she wakes up, I'm reminding her, you are strong. You know, it doesn't matter whatever condition comes to you, you are strong, you are kind. So that she spreads, and it visibly comes out, when she's dealing with other kids. You can see that kind part of her. You can see the helping, the sharing, some of these things, because you tell her every morning you can hand. And then I tell her, you're beautiful. She is. And someone may be saying, you don't need a reminder. She needs it. Every morning I tell her, you're beautiful. We communicate. And of course, spending quality time with them. Because the amount of time you spend is, you instill in that what you want to instill in them. I'm one of the people who is always with that child everywhere. And I think it's known of me. Because when I gave birth to her, and she was a preemie, so my fear, everybody around me feared to carry her. Even my own mom would say, oh my God, she's so little. I've never given birth to 1 kg, less than 1 kg. You know, we got out of hospital and she was like 1 kilogram. She would basically fit how her body was within my palm. And most of us maybe have the privilege of going over again, they were mama, wakonyige, and all that. And I did not have that. So it was basically of, this is your business. And whereas I understand there was surrounding to give me support and what, their support was sort of limited. So I got that bond really tight with my daughter that even when it reached a time of work and everything, I was like, I'll carry you everywhere we go. So we created that beautiful bond that I'm very, very intentional about maintaining, because it is what raises a child. It is what reminds them of who they are. It's that reassurance that they get on a daily basis that no matter what happens when I go out in the world, I have a pillar. And that is my mother, that is my parent. Thank you.
Wow. Let's clap for Prudence. Communication, the effect of the mirror, the presence. I know Mbabazi on my right is smiling because her first book is Smiling in the Mirror. And today we are talking about the scent of a mother. One of the things that, of course, you have shared is that open communication with your child, especially when what you have been probably teaching them turns out to be, different for them out there. And Samson mentioned something that today we are giving so much time to everything else except the children. So some parents may not even notice these things. And I want to applaud the fathers who are here, because none of the mothers in this world can be called mothers without the father. So please clap that person that gave you the title of a mother. And we love you so much, fathers. We love you because it's you that make us mothers. This brings me to my second last question, and that is the issue of work-life balance. Mothers having millions of hands, you do this and do that, and you're expected to do that and go to school and da, 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 da. How best can mothers balance the responsibility that comes with motherhood as well as all the other things they do? Lucky, she said by 11 she's done and she has a lot of time. But we have some mothers who don't have that time. Even when you're home, you're working. So I want to start there. Work-life balance. I'll start with you, Lucky. The lucky one who is home by 11.
I think work, you said what and balance? I want to get it clearly.
Work-life balance. Motherhood and everything else that you have to do to, make sure that life is lifing.
So I'm going to be honest with our mothers. Work-life balance is a myth. Let's start there. You are not always going to be able to balance. And that's okay. Because lots of motivational speakers will come and tell you that it's possible. But you live it every day. Is it?
No.
It is not. Grant yourself grace. It is important. Because we as mothers, as you're trying to balance, you second guess yourself. Am I good enough? Am I a good mother? Am I good at my work? Am I the best wife? It is second guessing. Because you are sold an idea that you have to balance. And this is what you're going to do for yourself. Take a day at a time. Pour into yourself before you pour into anyone. Unfortunately, some of us didn't learn this lesson earlier on, and we struggled.
That's true.
Now, I may not seem like the one who struggled, but trust me, I have had my journey too, right?
Yeah.
Because I started mothering at an early age. Without giving you the specifics, I was young. And the only manual I had was what I saw my mom, Akiki, do.
Exactly.
But she raised me in a different generation. And there I was. I didn't even know how to breastfeed. Can you imagine? Something so natural. They literally had to hold Tamim for me to be able to breastfeed. Now, just to give you an idea of how much I didn't know. So what I'm going to tell you now, fill your cup, drink. Fill it again, drink. Then pour it into other people. When it's empty, fill, drink, pour into other people. The balance is going to depend on seasons. And that is the honest truth. Right now, I do a morning show. I have more time. I wished I started with a morning show. I was doing an afternoon show and then a gig here and then you're out at night because unfortunately for our jobs, you have to do this, promotions and all. So you have to go out at night and you still have to raise. So my balance then depended on seasons. The seasons where I wasn't working so hard, I was, raising my children. I always made sure I spend quality time. That's all I can tell you. That if you have just an hour or so with your child, sit, look in their eyes, have conversations, have meals with them, do the best you can do homework. That's how you balance. Because seasons are not going to offer you the balance they are talking about.
That's true.
Grant again yourself grace. Forgive yourself for the things you miss in your child's life. To be honest with you, the kids, because I have a grown up now, they won't even remember that much, how much you missed, but they will remember the quality time you spent with them. They'll be like, remember that time when we did this and this? Oh my God, Mom, you were amazing. So my child, quickly, the first one, wrote to me a Mother's Day note. And he told me, I want to thank you for everything. But the thing that really caught my eye is like, I have watched you evolve. And if nobody told you, I am so proud because I've seen it.
Wow. Wow. Wow.
That's all.
Thank you. Thank you. I see. Do you want to cry? Can we have some tissue, please? Huh? Can we have some tissue? That's what. Oh, that's amazing. That's amazing. Mothers know what that means. Yes. And I have no doubt. Lucky you have done. You have done well. Yes, Samson. What do you have to say about this work-life balance thing that is expected of mothers? And
I don't know whether it's a culture thing, but by accident I found myself in a small English town called Binfield in Bracknell. When you, in England, it does not matter who you are. Even if you are the royal family, you don't take a child to school unless they are 4. It does not matter who you are. They look at the birth certificate and it will tell whether you go to reception class or not. I asked why. They said it is to stop children getting burnout. The other thing that I learned there, when my child was in kindergarten, it is only the parents who pick a child at school, period. If not, then you must designate a person close to pick. Sometimes it's both parents, sometimes it's one of you. Then the system is that way. Then you organize yourself how you will drop and pick. There is no 2 ways about it. It is what it is. If it is grandparents' day and the grandparents are not available, you must explain their grandparent that we are immigrants and grandparents are in Africa, or they're in Africa, let them record a video and send it. We will play it. Now, because that system is not here, I came back with the culture that I pick my children, I drop in the morning, and she picks. If she's not picking or dropping, and it's really one of those rare days, then we designate somebody to. Now, the advantage is when we are going to school in the morning, we have a conversation. When mom picks, there's a conversation. So you make use of that time. We're talking the balance.
Yes.
So you create opportunities for you to. That video you spoke about, I saw. When you see Lucky talking to Hassan, you know that there's been tons and tons of years building. You see, most of us see things and we never think there is a journey. And this is what I want to tell you. That building you see up there has a foundation. You just don't see it. It doesn't mean it's not there. That foundation is almost the height of that building. And it doesn't look as pretty as the paint, but it is in there. So where is the foundation of our children? You speak time, and I like to be controversial. Let me ask you, those of us who don't have time, you know those twisted braids? I'm talking about the very little ones. I've gone with my wife to a salon, so I'm talking about the very little twisted braids. How much time does it take to braid them?
6, 7 hours.
6?
I think so.
Depending on how many people are on your head. Depending on how many people are on your head.
Sometimes it's days.
Let's imagine you have 2 people on your head. That could be as many as 8 hours before you get to the whole piece of cloth and then the painkillers. I know this stuff because I also know that I know the toothpick beat. My daughter sits here with the toothpick and we unbraid, and that's time as we unbraid. So what I'm saying here is, with our work-life balance, we can find 8 hours for braids that are more important than our children.
Ironic.
We can find the 8 hours. Why do you find the 8 hours? Because your hair is important. And how you look is important. Now, it is you to decide if your hair is more important than your kids. That's your decision, not mine. I'm just trying to demonstrate that when we want to do something, there's no time. Time is created.
That's true.
The day since time immemorial has been 24 hours. There's nobody who has 26.
Or 32.
Or 32. Some don't even have the 24. So, what we're discussing here about that balance, and I agree with you, it's not there. The time we're talking about, I work in the evening. There are people who are struggling to find time for their health. When she talks about Lucky got her groove back, people tell me, Kasuma, where do you find that time for the gym? I say, I don't have the money to spend on a doctor. Number 2, I know what will happen at 52, which I will be very soon on Tuesday. Many of my mates have to see consultants. I don't have that time, neither do I have the money. But I can create time with it. Time is something you create. You create time to watch a football game. They are about 2 hours, and then to discuss after the football game, and then a drink, but you don't have time to go to see your daughter. Come on, father. You don't have the time? How? So time, the moment you decide something is important, you find the time.
That's true.
Married men find the time to be promiscuous. There are people who will find time in a marriage to see another man. So there is time. The moment you decide that something is important, you yourself depending on how important it is, will create the time to go do it and then come back and look like it was never done, and then also fit in your work and fit in other things. Somehow time is created depending on how important something is in your life. When somebody says there is no time, what they are saying is, it
That's
is
not
not my priority. End of.
story. Well said. Well said. I actually needed you to talk more about the men that find more time. Huh? My neighbors,
but let me
a
also-
little bird was telling me.
Let me also encourage. Let me also encourage. Because
Yes.
there are also single moms. Unfortunately, many of us have children and vanish.
That's true.
Unfortunately, you just have to go to an upscale nursery school and you see how many single mothers we have in this city or in this country for many reasons. Some are even choice, and I have nothing against it. I've grown enough not to blame people, but to understand them. I am a proxy father to a few people who have asked. When you're a single mother, find somebody you think that is inspirational and ask. If he refuses, ask another. You might find somebody that could push in a word for you or could be a role model for you, for your children. Being a single mother is not the end of the day. It should never be the end. But you can find people to feed into your cup. Lucky, I believe in you. You cannot give what you don't have.
From an empty
It's
cup.
taken me a lot of time to understand that there are people whose joy is in making others uncomfortable. It could even be your mother or your dad or your spouse or your children who empty your cup, and it is empty. When it is empty, accept it is empty. Find a way to feel it so that you have something to give. And I think this is what we are doing here. People have come to fill their cups. Some people have run away from their spouses who just, I mean, why do you have to go sinalia mere? So these things are important to fill our cups. It might be the mosque, it might be church. Find a place to fill your cup. And once it is full, then you have something to give. If it is a toxic spouse, find a way to separate yourself from them. Go fill your cup. Then they will also notice that there's some glow on you. That changes a bit. If you and the dads here and those listening, God is my witness. In the last 23 years, I have never raised my voice once. I was having this conversation with her, and she accused me that in 23 years, there was a single time when I raised my voice in the car. I said, if it is one and I don't even remember it, I think that doesn't count. And it's not just the 23. I've known her for about, I think, 30 years. I think and know there is nothing you solve in a fight. Those of you who have had a fight know you will still come back to keep quiet and talk. So if that's where you will end, why do you have to go up there?
Do you have to?
So as a rule, if you know how we all know that a fight is coming? And we all don't want to get out of it, but we can tell it's coming, and we keep going.
Yes.
This is how you know that you are walking into a fight. When you feel the need to defend yourself, you are walking into a fight. So stop. So early on, I decided if I need to explain anything, I write it. It was very early, so I would write and put under the pillow. When WhatsApp came, I made use of it. The beauty with writing is this: you can review. It's okay, fine. This is not what I mean. So there would be the long draft and then another one. Then we finish in about sentences. And the other thing is, when you write and they say you said this, let's go back to the document. This is what I said. This is what I said. I was misunderstood. And number two, never use you. I feel this way about the food. It's very different from you cook bad food. Nobody, there's no supermarket that sells fillings.
It's not there.
I mean, this is how I feel about the food. Now, nobody will defend themselves against your feelings. But you cook bad food is an attack, and it engenders a defense.
That's true.
So I feel that we need to give our children more time. It's different from we don't have enough time for our children because you come back late.
It's called the eye technique.
So when we get out of here, how you communicate what came out of here will determine whether you move forward or you go further than where we found you. Backward.
Or if you'll get the visa.
Or you get another visa
to come
ever
back
again. Thank you.
for the next branch. Thank you, Samson. Thank you so much. I'm going to move to you, Charity. Yes.
So Lucky and Samson have explained the point very
So
well. But I'm going to talk about what it's called today in the marketplace. It's no longer called work-life balance. It is called work-life integration.
Yes.
And in some places, work-life harmony. So when I think about integration and harmony, the things that come to me, first of all, harmony. You want to be happy. So how are you going to be happy both at work and at home? So find the balance where that works and figure out what it is that is going to make you happy as a mother, what it is that is going to bring joy into the home. Maybe it might mean that you take that extra job, do that extra work, but then find the balance that gives you the happiness to be able to contribute in the marketplace. The other thing about integration is I was just thinking about wholeness. As a mother, you're coming into the home, but coming to the home when you're whole. Many people are dealing with watching what we call underlying issues. So you come to a marriage to get married to this person, but you never really recovered from some of the things that happened to you in your past. And so you come into the marriage, you're hurt, you're carrying burdens. You become a mother, you're carrying burdens again. So we are dealing with a wounded mother. So when you see your child, instead of passing over the love that needs to be passed over, you're passing over pain. So when we talk about work-life balance, work-life integration, work-life harmony, truthfully, find yourself. For me, I think what really matters is find yourself as a mother. Find out what it is that what are your triggers? What are the things, sometimes we shout at our children when we don't have to shout. What you're really dealing with is your own emotional challenges that you're carrying from the workplace, from the pain that you didn't deal with. And so the little child, you walk into the home and you're just screaming. I'm saying that because it has ever happened to me. I'll tell you a little story because I'm trying to summarize. I used to walk into the house, and as soon as I would park my car, right from the entrance of the garage into the house, I would come screaming, why is this cushion here? Why is this here? Because, you want order, you want everything to be the perfectionist mom. You want everything to be in order. You go to the kitchen and you're like, why is the food burnt? I used to scream my head off. And my husband on the other side is the calm person. So he, one time, asked me a question. What do you prefer? Do you prefer a clean, neat, organized home, nothing burnt? Or you prefer to come back and something happened to your child? What if the food burnt when they were helping your child to be well in the name of work-life balance? So I had to question myself. priorities once again. What is it that matters? Yeah. So in the work-life balance, what I would say, deal with yourself. I had to go back and deal with myself. And when I come into the home, I come into the home because I would like to have a peaceful home. So come into the home with that heart of I want to see peace and I want to live an environment where everybody thrives. So as I conclude, when Samson was speaking, the other word that came to me is have your boundaries clear as a mother. Have your boundaries clear. And when you have your boundaries clear, what that does is that it helps you to manage your work well, and so you can be able to thrive. It also helps you to go home and be the mother that your children deserve. So if I could leave you a question, when you leave this place tonight, are you the mother that your children deserve? I run a program, Mothers on a Mission. That's a question we ask ourselves. Am I the mother my children deserve? And it's there.
Wow. Thank you, Charity. As you're speaking, something landed for me, especially for us mothers who come back home and we are picking on everything in the house. The information we are sharing will work for us, it will work for the maids at home, it will work for a family. Wait until the maid is not at home and you have to do all the chores. And then your spouse comes back and quarrels over the one little thing that wasn't done. When you put in all the efforts, that's when you learn to appreciate. Before you start yelling about the cushion, about this and that, you at least first acknowledge some of the things that were done. That landed for me. And I am one of the people that listens to children across the nation. And if I were to share some of the things the children are saying about us, you really brought it out. We need to fill our cups. We need to work on ourselves first. Many of our children are hurting. So mothers today, as we leave this place, let's go and have these conversations. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Samson, Lucky, and Charity. Over to you, Prudence.
Thank you. Trying to come to it from the point of work, because I feel we've tackled home a little bit. I think as parents, we need to allow ourselves vulnerability. And we need to speak to some of these things at our workplaces with our employers, because most of us are employed. I'll give an example. When I gave birth, I was entitled to 3 months of leave. But that would mean my child came 3 months early. So to me, that meant that by the time I was supposed to go back to work, literally my child would be a newborn. So I went and sat down with my boss and I explained to her and said, look, I understand policy says 3 months, but that means my child is newly born. And I'd spent majority of this time in hospital. So then I made in a request and I said, could you adjust for me to give me at least extra 2 months to take care of my child? Because now she's literally a newborn. And because I was able to express myself, I was given that time. And a window was opened up for me. Now, even when I got back to work, I made another request. I asked, because after all, the Bible says, ask and you receive. I threw in another wild card of, can I come with my child to work? So, and luckily enough, it was given to me. Now, I find myself in a spot where people keep asking me, how did you do this? Oh, their favoritism. But it was between me and asking, the worst could be a no, and maybe figure it out. And I think this is one thing that as mothers or as parents we are not doing currently, is we are not allowing ourselves to get help. Listen, bringing up a child to a certain level, it takes a lot. It drains from you. Allow yourself to get help. Allow the circle around you to fit in, especially if you trust them. Currently, our household left. So when I was coming here, I asked myself, where am I going to leave this child? My partner is somewhere else. And I looked around and I said, you know what? I still have a mom. I'm blessed. So last night, I carried this child She's with her grandmother, receiving lots of love. I am here doing what I am doing. After here, I'm going to go back to her. So we need to open ourselves up to allow love to flow into our children's lives and love from other people. Sometimes parenting does not just take both the people who birthed this child or who brought this child to life. Parenting can be an entire circle of people that are around you that can just help you make this thing work. So let's open it up. Open the doors up to your child to feel the love from other spaces.
Well said. Ladies and gentlemen, Samson talked about being a proxy father for so many children. Mbabazi, here you are doing that work well, you know, with your children and the friends of your children. I see what you're doing. It's amazing. Charity, I know that you're doing that too. And thank you, Prudence, for also sharing that we do not have to die in our movie, you know, alone. We can have the world help us. Allow me just ask each one of you with just one word, because for me, this conversation, one word kept going and ringing in my mind, and that was intentionality. So, from everything that has been said, it was ringing intentionality. Please give us one word that we are going to throw in this cup of ours as we leave the mom's brunch today. One word, Samson. What's your word that you're giving to the mothers and fathers who are here today as we bless them?
I think I've learned quite a bunch today because we always learn, but I think it's going to be, do your children know what you knew at their age? Do your children know what you knew at their age?
Interesting.
What that means is that our parents who had less were able to pour into us so much. I think we've shortchanged our children. Nobody sees my family on social media because there are rules on it. And like I spoke about it, my children don't have the right to post me because I've been very clear. It will come with interest. There'll be a lot more with it if than you ask for. So we take family pictures and they cut me out. They don't like it. I don't like it. But that's my life. I am protecting them from who I am. And on communication, please allow me this very short story. When I was at Urban TV, I did a show on abortion. And in private, I spoke to a girl, 3 girls, top middle class family in this town. Our children do things to impress us. That girl had become pregnant at school, did an abortion that went wrong, and she lost her uterus. A talk show host in town, I asked her, do your parents know? She said, no. You're the first person knowing. A TV host knew something about a girl
That the parents
that both her parents
didn't know.
That changed my parenting. Are you sure? The friends of your children don't know things
That you don't know.
their parent, does not know. The girl was about 26. She was preparing for a wedding. I'm very sure if she doesn't have children, because this is a very wealthy family, her parents will move her from one place to the other looking for a child. She can't tell them. Kasumba knows. They don't know. I told my kids, I want you to be good kids. But if it goes wrong, I will never understand if somebody else knows before me. Even if it is the worst, give me the priority to be the first to know.
Wow. And like you said, that's a journey. That's a journey, dear parents, and intentionality has to happen. For them to make sure you're the first one to know, there has to be a journey that has been taken together. Thank you so much, Samson, for sharing that. Yes, Lucky.
What was the question again? I
One
want to be sure.
word. I asked
It's not
for
going to be a
one
word,
word,
though.
and I
Can
got
I be
one
honest?
story.
It's not going to be just one word. Do I have like a minute?
Yes, please.
Thank you.
Yes.
So for me, I think what the take home is today is heal.
That's the
Yeah?
word.
Let's heal. Let's work on our mental wellness as mothers. It's okay if society does not agree with where you see yourself now. It is okay to leave a toxic situation. It is okay. And if you are the toxic one, it is okay to let him go. Because you know what happens? Your children hear, they see, they watch. And because that's the environment you're raising them in, they are going to grow up thinking that's the normal. If you beat your child or if you beat your wife, they will repeat the cycle. Break the cycle now. Not tomorrow, now. Thank you.
Well said, Lucky Mbabazi. Over to you, Charity.
So I'm also using the 1 minute principle.
Yeah. Yes.
My takeaway
Yes, please.
and what I would like to leave with the mothers here is what Samson said at the start, because I wanted to say it and he took it away and said it so well. So never, ever give up on any of your children. You are only a steward and you are the most qualified person to bring out what God invested in that child. The destiny of that child is in your hands. So never, ever give up any of your children. And as I say that from a place of pain, because this week one of our children disappointed me and I couldn't sleep the whole night because I could not understand how that happened, whatever I was dealing with. But sitting here today and what I told myself throughout the night, because I kept asking myself, am I a bad mom? Did I fail? I remember sitting with him and telling him, what will I tell those people? I'm on a flyer. I'm supposed to be a good mom. What will I be saying? Really, I cannot be dealing with someone like you. But you see, at the end of the day, we are human. And it's only God who gives us the privilege to be parents. So you're not the person in the wrong. You did your best, but the child turned out the way they turned out. But never, ever give up on your child. Thank you.
Amazing. Over to you, Prudence. 1 minute.
In the same spirit, I would
Yeah.
say my word would be Mbabazi. Give yourself grace as mothers. The same way you want to raise that child very well, the same way you want to do things perfect, give yourself some grace. You are human after all at the end of the day, and that child never comes with a manual.
That's true.
So give yourself some grace. And interestingly enough, when you give yourself that grace, you're going to see it impacting even your children. So don't be so hard on yourself. There is no manual. Just do what you have to do. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, you've heard it all. Parents, mothers, you have done well. Give yourself the grace, fill your cup. Never ever give up on any of your children. Allow yourself the grace to accept each child the way they come. They are different. Never ever compare your child to another person's child or to your other children. Why don't you do things the way so and so does them? Don't do that to yourself because you only break for nothing. Our children are our responsibility. Let us do our best. And when things still don't work, give yourself the grace. To the single mothers and single fathers, you are doing an amazing job. Please be there for them. However, do not try the tactic or technique of trying to abuse the relationship the child has with the other parent, because that also creates a gap. The difference between you and the father or you and the mother is between the two of you and not the child. Allow them to benefit from both the children. You're a father because of the mother, and you're a mother because of the father. You are worth it. You are doing amazing, amazing, amazing work. For coming here, you're filling your cup. May God bless you. I've had an amazing time moderating this panel where we had Samson Kasumba. So much I've learned from you, Samson. My father loves you. Reverend Charles Kahonda, I know you'll see this. I have your person here. He loves you so much. And I'm excited for that lunch that we shall have with you. Thank you for sharing that, for being vulnerable. Those of you who just came in, Samson shared, I think, one of the versions that maybe the rest of the public doesn't know. And I see you do your running along that Nalia hill. Good intentionality. Thank you so much, Lucky Mbabazi, and for giving us the theme of this panel, Mbabazi. Today it has been a Mbabazi affair. Everything was Mbabazi. So thank you, Lucky. Thank you for the work you're doing on the radio, on social media, in the parenting journey and everything. May God reward you and fill your cup and bless you. It's been an honor sitting with you, the wonderful Mbabazi, on my right. Mbabazi Charity Biarugaba. Thank you for the work you do in the coaching journey and also in the writing. We bless you. We honor you. This wouldn't have been the same without you. And finally, the one and only Prudence. For the work you do at CCare, we honor you. There's even a story that I've gotten to hear about CCare today, and I want you to know that you're doing amazing work. Thank you so much for sharing and also being so vulnerable. With you, I remain Patricia Agaruchere Mulumba, also known as the lover of love, today at the Mom's Brunch. Thank you and enjoy your Mother's Day. God bless you.
Ladies, can I hear you give a very big round of applause to our wonderful panel? A big round of applause until they make it to their seats. We'll have a picture here with the founder, Anita. Please come and have a photo with the panelists today. Thank you so much for speaking into the lives of these wonderful ladies, but also into the lives of the gentlemen that have made it possible. Okay, a very big round of applause as we celebrate Mother's Day, the wonderful brunch that we have had. Thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen, for the wonderful points that have been discussed. You may now make your way back. I'll ask Anita to stay on the platform. Ladies and gentlemen, at this juncture, we are going to have the official launch of the Anny Tibs Foundation. But before that, let's give these wonderful people the final round of applause. The Mbabazi themed session. Thank you so much. So DJ, you're going to continue with that song as we ask the founder, Anita, to prepare to give us her remarks. Yes, DJ.